Welcome to the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, the show that puts the spotlight on the incredible women who fuel the world of motorsports. From drivers to crew members, engineers to fans, and everyone in between, we're here to celebrate the trailblazers, dreamers, and doers shaping the sport we love. Each episode, we share inspiring stories of females of all ages from every corner of the motorsports universe, past, present, and future. It's a journey through the seasons of life filled with heartfelt moments, laughter, and a whole lot of horsepower. So whether you're a lifelong fan, a racer yourself, or simply curious about the extraordinary women behind the wheel, settle in, relax, and enjoy a fun and uplifting ride with us. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, connecting and celebrating women in motorsports, one story at a time. Let's hit the track. Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. And my guest today is a beautiful young lady named Ronni Johnson. And Ronni, I want to welcome you to the show. And first of all, would you mind just sharing a little bit about yourself? Where you live, do you go to school, your pets, your family, anything that you want to share?
Hi, I'm Ronni Johnson. I'm 19 years old. I am from a little town in South Georgia. I am a freshman in college right now, and I have been racing for 3 years. I have 2 older siblings. I still live with my parents, and I got a beautiful little nephew. He's adorable. Really,
Do you have any pets?
I do. I have 2 pets. I got a little wiener dog and a hound dog.
Okay.
Bella and Freckles.
Oh, cute names. So, Ronni, you've been racing for 3 years. So I want you to tell me, who got you interested in motorsports? So why don't you just tell me your story? How did you get started? Who introduced you to the sport? And what have you been doing the last 3 years?
Well, it all started out in 2021 when my dad started racing again. And I was like, I want to do that. And he didn't really take me serious to begin with. And in 2022, I think it was, he started racing again for the same man. And I said, oh, I guess you just forgot about me. And so he went and bought me a car. And on my birthday in August, I started my first race. And since then, I just continued on. So my dad was the one that started me on it. He's always raced for a long time.
Yeah.
And after I started, my big sister, she got a little jealous and she wanted to join in. So she joined in, and it's just me and her now.
Okay. And what is her name?
Her name's Jenna Johnson.
Okay. All right. We got to give her a shout out if she's racing too, right? So,
Yes.
What was it about watching your dad race that made you want to race?
It was just the excitement and how he talked about it. It just made me feel like I want to do that. I want to see how it feels.
Yeah. And when he talked about it, was it the adrenaline? It was going fast. What was it that what he loves about racing?
Just the speed and how it makes him feel, the excitement and the adrenaline, like you said. It just, it's nothing that you can, nothing.
You can't explain
it's
it,
nothing.
Can you?
No, you can't.
No, for sure.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is hard to explain to people who especially have never been to a racetrack. That's even harder to explain. So what kind of a car do you have? Tell me about your car.
I have a Crown Vic right now. It's I painted it pink and white to make a statement that I am a girl. I'm not a guy. Just because my name's Ronni Johnson don't mean I'm a guy.
Right.
But I hope to start in a 602 Charger next year. Hopefully.
Okay. So are you talking this summer or this year, or you're talking about next year, 2026?
2026.
Okay, so you're going to run the Crown Vic still this year. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, that's awesome. So, what is it that you love the most about racing?
I just love the speed and the adrenaline just to get when I pull up to the racetrack, the feeling that I get, it's just all over my body. It's tingly. It just feels amazing.
I love that. I love hearing you say that for sure. So, what's been your biggest challenge as far as learning to drive the car and racing? What's the hardest thing you've had to either overcome or you're still working on?
I I'm still working on trying to get like approved by all the race people, mostly all the guys that I race with. They get jealous when a girl's in there and I'm usually the top number 5, and so they get more jealous,
Hmm.
and it's just trying to be uh
That's
I can't think
hard,
of the word.
when
Yeah,
and they should be making you feel welcome, and instead they feel
yeah,
threatened. They feel threatened by you because
yes.
God forbid they'd get beat by a girl, right?
They've done
Yeah.
it like twice
Yeah.
already, and
Yeah.
they're so mad.
So they better get used to it, shouldn't they? They just need to get used to it.
Yes,
So you probably, I would say at first you probably didn't feel like you belonged there. I mean, they made you feel
I
like,
really didn't. I felt
yeah.
left out. I didn't
Hmm.
have anybody to talk to. It was just me and my dad. And it was like I just felt bad because nobody would talk to him because he was trying to teach me how to race, and all the guys was just like, she can never do that.
Hmm. Now, do you rate dirt or do you race dirt or asphalt?
Right now I just race dirt track, and
Okay.
hopefully this year I'll be doing asphalt a little bit.
Okay. All right. Um, so when you get to the track, you said you just feel all tingly. Do you feel nervous at all when you pull out onto the track to start racing, or do you just feel excited?
When I get into staging before we go out to the dirt track, oh, I am shaking all over. I'm nervous. But right when I get on the dirt track and the light goes green, everything is just, I'm just in the zone.
Yeah,
I can't even feel nothing.
that's so fun. So, do you help work on your car at all, or does your dad kind of take care of that?
I do help because I need to learn how to do it. So I do
Hmm.
help. I help
Okay.
change the tires and fix the tire rods because I'm always breaking a tire rod.
That's easy to do. Yeah,
Yes.
and yeah, that's easy to do. So yeah, you do need to learn because if you're going to be driving and you're 19, your dad's not always going to want to fix it, so he's going to show you how to do it, which is a really good thing for sure. So what kind of success have you had since you started? And I don't necessarily mean just um, winning a race. I mean, like, what have you feel like you've been successful in? Like you've overcome some things maybe that were hard for you at first.
Uh, I've came out of my shell a lot, and I used to be a lot like really shy. And my dad, he has taught me to become more vocal to people and start talking to like people that I don't even know, and they'll help us a lot.
Hmm.
I have actually helped a lot of more females join into the race because they'll see me and they're like, well, she's young and she's my age. I feel like I could do that too, and so I've helped them join into the race too.
Oh, that's awesome, Ronnie, because that's one of the questions actually I was going to ask you if you've had a mentor or if you've been a mentor, and it sounds like you are a mentor to other women and other girls because like you said, if they see you doing it, then they're like, "Hey, maybe I could do that too." So that's great. Are there very many girls that you race against?
Yes, there's about 7.
Wow.
It started out with just me and another lady, and and now 7 girls in my class.
That's great. And do you race at the same track every week or do you travel?
I go to many different tracks. I've been to 7 different tracks in 3 different states so far, and I
Okay.
hope to try out some new tracks this year.
So you're going to travel, but do you have a track that you go to the most, like a home track?
I do. It's Swainsboro Raceway.
Okay. Swainsboro. I want to write that down. Um, so when you get ready to go to, let's say it's race day, what's your routine look like? Do you always wear the same socks or the same shirt? Do you eat the same thing every time when you have breakfast? Do you not eat at all? Kind of what's your routine on race day?
I usually put the same stuff on, my Johnson shirt racing, and I'll go to the track. I usually have me a hot dog and some fries, and I'm good.
Okay, that's cool. It's funny how so many people either wear the same shirt. A lot of girls wear the same socks. It's kind of funny how we do that, and not that necessarily they're superstitious. It's just this is my race outfit, and this is what I wear on race day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure. So, who helps you at the track? I'm assuming your dad. Who else is involved? Do you have anybody else that goes and helps along the way?
Um, Sometimes we have my dad's best friend. He helps a lot, and my brother and my sister's boyfriend. And we also have this other driver. He joins in with us, and he also helps with our cars and everything.
Okay, so you got a pretty good sized little team there that's helping each other. And does your sister race a Crown Vic too, or what does she race?
She races a Crown Vic too.
Okay, so do you have to race against her then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so how's that go? Do you beat her? Do you try to be respectful of each other? How does that go when you're racing each other?
Well, we are sisters off the track, but on the track, it's usually every man for themselves.
Yeah,
So
that's good. Yeah, and
you can't let
so
nobody win.
no, you can't let her win just because she's your sister. Yeah, for sure. That's funny. So, what do you think you have learned by being involved in motorsports that maybe you wouldn't have learned at this age had you not been involved? So, one of the things you said, you're more you're more outgoing now. You share yourself. You put yourself out there more. Is there anything else that you feel like motorsports has helped you with or taught you just by being involved in the sport?
Well, here is a real life story that happened to me last year in December. I had a bad car wreck. I totaled out my brand new truck, but honestly, if I didn't know how to control the car and had the experience that I had, and if I didn't have God on my side, I would not be here today.
Oh, Ronnie. So there's things that you learned that you didn't even know you knew. And then you had an accident with your
Yes, ma'am.
truck and those things just automatically came out and helped you. And of course, God was with you, wasn't he? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely. Wow. So, are you friends with those other girls that you've kind of invited into the sport?
Yes, ma'am. We do talk a lot, and they come over there and ask me some questions, and I give them some advice. I mean, I'm learning too, but I just tell them what I've already learned and things that I'm still learning.
And are they about the same age as you, or what age women are they? Are they older? Are they younger?
It goes from the age of like 15 all the way to 48.
Okay. Wow. So that's a nice variety of ages too that are racing. So I feel like, Ronnie, you've already made an
Yes, ma'am.
impact on motorsports, but how else do you feel like maybe you would like to make an impact? Like someday when you're not involved any longer in motorsports, what do you want people to remember about Ronnie Johnson?
Well, that just be yourself, always be outgoing, always put God first, and everything will fall in line. Just go out and have fun, take risk in life, and yeah,
Yeah, that's
learn
good.
things.
Learn everything you can, and that's good advice, to other people. Don't let anybody squash your dreams. Believe in yourself. All those things you just said. Yeah. So, who gave you advice? Anybody? And if so, what did they tell you?
Mm, usually it's just my dad, I guess.
Okay.
He tells me just be myself and take
Yeah.
risk and live your life like it's your last lap.
Yeah. Especially after you went through that accident, you have a more in maybe appreciation for every day as
I
compared to
do.
some people. Yeah, for sure. So, what's a good racing memory that you have? It could be good or bad. What's a memory that you have from being involved in racing?
Winning my first race in front of all the boys.
And when
It
was
was
that?
great. It was about 2 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So you
I'm
were
not
new to the
exactly sure
sport.
when, but
Yeah, you were new to the sport when you won.
I was a rookie.
Yeah. And that didn't set good with the boys for sure.
No, because they had tried all their life just to get a win, and here comes me, a little girl passing you.
Mhm. Yeah, that's and but have things changed at all in the 3 years you've been in? Like at first, they weren't accepting of you and everything, but now that they see you really are good at racing and you really do know what you're doing, has it changed how they treat you on and off the track?
Yes, ma'am. They treat me really fairly now. They treat me like the same race car buddies like they do everybody else. I'm no different. They've learned that.
Yeah, that's really good. I was hoping that's what you were going to say because they need to learn that when you're in the car, you're a race car driver. You're not just a girl. Yeah, for sure. So, do you have any fans that are your favorites, or are you the favorite driver to anybody? Like you have autograph night? Do you have any little girls that come up to you?
I do. I have a lot of little kids. Sometimes at the racetracks on October, they have these little trick or treats, and some of them have fan appreciation. I've had a lot of people come up to me, and most of my family are my most important fans and my
Hmm.
big supporters.
Yeah, it takes the whole family, doesn't it? And your mom, is she a supporter?
Yes,
Yeah, I figured as
yes,
much.
ma'am, she is. She's the one that got us all these racing merchandises and everything else.
And so, when you first said you wanted to race, did she say, "Oh no, not my baby girl," or did she say, "Yeah, go ahead and try it"?
And she was a little nervous. She didn't like it at all.
Hmm. I figured as much because usually it's the moms that are not as crazy about their kids racing unless they've actually raced themselves, and then it's a different story. Yeah. Well, it's cool that you and your dad have this special thing that you can do together, and your sister. So the three of you, that's pretty cool for sure. Um, so social media, do you use social media to promote your racing and what you do and your wins and all those things? How do you use it?
I am starting out new of doing the vlogs and putting myself out there, but I do use TikTok and Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook.
Okay. All right. My Facebook just got hacked yesterday. So I spent most of the day yesterday trying to figure out what was happening. And by the time I realized somebody was into it, and I don't know how they do it, but it's so frustrating. So I guess I'm just going to start over. And luckily, I collect email addresses because I got hacked once before and I lost 10,000 followers. And so I decided I wasn't going to depend on Facebook as much. And so I collect email addresses, and that way I can still stay in touch with you, Ronnie, through email, even if somebody messes with my social media. So yeah, you'll probably be getting emails from me saying, "Hey, like my new page," because I have to start
I will
over.
surely do that.
Yeah, it's so frustrating for sure. So, is the name of your social media? Is it just under your name or is it under a different name?
It's under my name
Okay.
and Johnson Racing too on Facebook.
Okay. All right. Um, so if there was, if you could look down the road a few years and you're only 19, so maybe that's a little bit harder for you because you're young. But if you look down the road, and you're like, yeah, I'm 69. So let's just say you're 69 years old and you're like, okay, I'm not going to race anymore. What do you hope people will remember about you?
That I took the risk and I am one of the most, I guess, the first girls to ever actually get out there and try and not be ashamed of who I am and what I want to do.
Yeah, that's cool. So the kids you go to school with, I know college is kind of different, but what do your friends think about you being involved in racing?
Oh, they think it's amazing. They wish they could do it, but they ain't. They said that they're just not brave enough to do it.
Okay. So they kind of look up to you, don't they? Because they're like, wow, she does something I could never do. So that's kind of cool. So, Ronnie, what
Yes.
you're going to college, what kind of classes are you taking? What is it that you want to do as a career?
Right now, my main focus is business management and marketing.
Okay.
So
Good.
it might change.
Yeah, it could change, but those are good, basic kinds of things to know because you could do a lot of different jobs. And even in the world of racing, those things would come to play where you could work for a race team or something. So that's a good plan for sure. Well, is there anything that we haven't talked about that I didn't ask you that we should share?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. Have you won one race? Have you won or come close in any other ones?
I've won 4 races
Oh, well, you
and I
didn't say
have
that. Wow. 4 races. That's
four
very
races so
cool.
far.
That's great.
And like numerous top 5 and top
Yeah.
10s.
Well, no wonder the boys are upset. They want you to go take dance lessons or something, don't they? They don't want you out there racing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Well, Ronnie, I've really enjoyed talking to you. You made me laugh this morning after I had a terrible day yesterday with my Facebook and all that, but you put a smile on my face today and made me laugh. So thank you for that. Any last words that you want to share before we hang up?
Thank you for letting me come on here and I've enjoyed doing this.
Oh, that's okay. I'm glad to get to meet you and get to know who you are. And so, Ronnie, I'm going to have, it's my Facebook page now is just my name, Melinda Russell. So if you tag Melinda Russell, then I'll see a little bit more about what you're doing, and I can follow your race career. So make sure you tag me, and good luck this year. I hope you have a great season.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. That's it for this episode of the Women's Motorsports Network podcast. We hope you've been inspired by the stories I shared today and feel more connected to the amazing community of women in motorsports. Remember, whether you're behind the wheel, in the pits, or cheering from the stands, your story matters. And together, we're driving change and celebrating every milestone. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with someone who loves motorsports as much as you do. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more incredible stories. So until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and keep racing through life. This is the Women's Motorsports Network podcast, where every woman's story is worth celebrating.